What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So we've had a few DC updates as of late, and I just kind of wanted to touch base, go over a few of them, especially toward the end of the week. James Gunn was dropping a lot of bombshells. First and foremost, I just want to say that Superman is going on its kind of like world tour, premiere, whatever you want to call it, around the world. And apparently they were in the Philippines, and James Gunn screened like the first 30 minutes of the Superman film to the general public that was there. And apparently the early reactions to, and again, it's just the first 30 minutes, mind you, but the early reactions have been absolutely fantastic. It seems like people are really going to eat this movie up. I've heard reactions like it's just really beautiful, people saying that it's the best 30 minutes of a movie they've ever watched, to, you know, just saying, like, a lot of people are saying what they've packed into the first 30 minutes of this movie alone is better than like most of the films coming out as of late. I mean, there were so many people that were saying stuff like it's the most comic accurate version, that it's, again, kind of some of the best 30 minutes to a movie they've ever seen, which, again, I do want to just clarify, because I know some people, they get overhyped, and you know, there's people on the internet that they'll call them shills or whatever, but the way that I see it is, when, you know, being a hardcore fan myself, when you get invited to something like this, or when you're there at the world premiere and you're one of the first people other than the ones directly involved with the project of a film or show to actually see it in any sort of capacity, you are going to tend to lean more positive. That's just something I've noticed with the early reactions and all. And then usually when you gather your thoughts and you come home and you sit down and you do a review once you see the full movie or whatever, usually that's when you give a more balanced take. So the people saying this is better than The Dark Knight, which yes, I saw like one or two of those, to the greatest 30 minutes of any movie I've ever seen, take those with a grain of salt for sure. But I just say all that to bring home the point, really, that it looks like a lot of people are really going to be into this movie, that it seems to be exactly what was promised by James Gunn, that he understood the assignment, that he's really taking Superman in a way that feels both distinct yet also being very familiar, and being that hopeful symbol of optimism, really, that Superman has been known for decades. So yeah, I mean, it certainly has my hopes built up quite a bit. I'm very excited for this film. Every trailer I've seen has just got me more and more hyped up for it, really. So yeah, you know, hearing these reactions, I don't think there was like one of them that sounded even remotely mid, which is promising. So yeah, we'll know for ourselves in just like 2 or 3 weeks, which is absolutely insane to think about it coming out, you know, in like less than 20 days at this point. But yeah, moving on, James Gunn did announce that a Wonder Woman movie is going to be arriving sooner rather than later. Apparently Wonder Woman and the Batman script, not the Batman Part 2, I don't think, but probably Batman Brave and Bold, the DCU, like, official Batman version. He's working on the scripts for both Wonder Woman and that Batman movie right now, trying to perfect the script, trying to get it right. But yeah, he basically said Wonder Woman's coming. Apparently, I think the only thing we really got out of it substantial is that it's going to be set in the present day. I believe I heard that was a rumor or something, but yeah, I mean, it would make sense. We've gotten 2 Wonder Woman movies. First Wonder Woman movie, obviously, classic DC movie, set in World War I, which I did think was a very interesting time period, considering a lot of films really don't touch on World War I as much as they do, say, World War II or something. So it's a kind of semi-fresh new time period, while also, you know, really doing Wonder Woman a lot of justice, no pun intended. But yeah, and then you get Wonder Woman 84, which obviously, I actually have only ever seen that movie once. It was when it came out. Fun fact, the first movie that I ever saw in theaters post-pandemic. But yeah, I remember actually not hating that movie. Certainly not as good as the first film, but I thought it actually had a lot of heart at certain points. And that movie took place in the 80s, which is probably why, because I'm a huge 80s junkie. I just love the, you know, I love the feel and the vibe that I just get whenever I watch like an 80s movie, or the stuff that, like, the songs in the 80s, stuff like that. Big fan. So I'm sure that definitely probably influenced my opinion on that film a little bit, but overall I thought it was okay, and, you know, it wasn't bad. So I think to have a Wonder Woman movie that's actually set in like the present day, and, you know, congruency or whatever you want to call it with the mainline DCU, pretty smart overall for sure. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm curious to see who they're going to cast, probably more so who they're going to cast for Batman, but I'm definitely interested to see who they're going to cast as Wonder Woman, because Gal Gadot just did such an amazing performance as Diana Prince, that it's going to be really hard to top that. I wouldn't quite say it's like RDJ level perfect casting, but it's definitely really, really great. But yeah, speaking of Batman a second ago, kind of moving into this next segue here, apparently James Gunn mentioned that he's trying to perfect Batman in the DCU, and apparently that's the reason why, even though Batman the Brave and the Bold was announced before Clayface, before some of these other projects he's mentioned, the reason why it's taken so long is because, according to Gunn, he doesn't want a campy, silly Batman, which to me, I love to hear that. Y'all kind of know if you've been watching some of my videos or if you know me in real life and we've talked about this. I think James Gunn knows the lore well, but I also feel like he can be a little self-indulgent and just kind of overdo it with humor. So I was very curious and kind of a bit afraid, for lack of a better term, to see how he was going to handle Batman in the DCU. But the fact that he's come out and said, hey, I don't want a campy version of Batman. I don't want him to be silly, goofy. This isn't going to be like a Batman and Robin or Batman 66. And he's really trying to crack an original story. And according to him, he basically said it's supposed to be a version of Batman that we've never seen before, but it's pretty hard because, to him at least, every version of Batman has been told. Which I honestly can kind of see where he's coming from with that. I mean, we've gotten, well, we know the origin of Batman, obviously. We've seen Batman in dark material, we've seen Batman in jokey, lighthearted material, even in period pieces, if you've watched like Gotham by Gaslight or Batman Ninja. So it's really hard to get. The DCU is obviously not going to put like Batman in the 1600s feudal Japan timeline or whatever, but you know, just saying, we've gotten so many variations of the Batman story that I do see where he's coming from. But if the rumors are true that he's going to include Damian Wayne and kind of have this be, you know, the kind of friction, for lack of a better term, between Bruce Wayne and Damian Wayne, and Damian Wayne obviously is going to end his opponents, and Batman is, you know, abiding by his no-kill rule, all that fun stuff, that would be a very unique and interesting take on the character, because outside of Batman Forever and Batman and Robin from like 30 years ago, we haven't really seen a version of Batman that tackles Robin. So again, I would really enjoy seeing that. I would enjoy probably finding a balance, kind of like how they've done Batman in the animated movies, where it's fantastical, yet they can also be very grounded. And I think if James Gunn can strike that balance, he'll definitely, I think, ace this Batman adaptation. But yeah, definitely sounds like his heart's in the right place. And again, I am very glad that he's waiting to basically find the right story, and he's not just rushing to get Batman out the door because it's arguably the most popular DC character. And you know, last but not least, we got our final announcement for Clayface. We know who's going to be playing the titular character, Tom Rhys-Harris, which honestly, he doesn't. When I say he doesn't look the part, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he looks bad, that I don't think he's going to turn in a great performance. It's really not so much anything to do with him or his looks or anything. It's just not who I expected. I was kind of expecting somebody that just looked a little more crazy or a little more, I don't know, but like basically a little more menacing than this guy looks. And I kind of looked up his portfolio of movies and shows that he's done. I think I've watched a couple things with him in it, but I don't remember him specifically. It was just certain shows or whatever. So I'm going into this completely blind, not really knowing his acting skills whatsoever. But honestly, I have really no opinion on this. I'm just ready to see what he brings to the table, more or less. I do think introducing Clayface, again, this is going to be a good segue into Batman, because it shows, because I'm going to assume they're not doing like serial killer Clayface like what we saw in Batman Caped Crusader last year, I believe it was. I think this will be more the like actual like Ghostbusters looking Clayface, for lack of a better term. But yeah, so you know, again, it's just a perfect segue, I think, into that very like fantastical elements of Batman. So if Clayface I think will really give us, because I'm assuming it takes place in Gotham, so I think it's really going to do a good job at giving us kind of that tease of what Gotham and this world of Batman is going to feel like. Whether or not we actually get Batman in this movie, I think it'd be awesome. I think it's likely, but I don't know how likely. But yeah, overall, that's pretty much my thoughts on the current state of or the updates, I guess you could say, of the DCU. Seems like James Gunn's heart is really in the right place with a lot of this, and I'm getting more and more optimistic. I can't wait to see Superman and kind of see him tackle something that's not Guardians, Suicide Squad, Peacemaker. Just kind of go a little out of its element while still playing in said element. But yeah, that's all I got for today, guys. Just let me know in the comments down below what you all think about all this. What's like your favorite announcement that James Gunn said the other day? Are you more excited for the Wonder Woman movie, the Batman movie, and most importantly, if you've seen Tom Harris, I hope I'm saying his last name right. If you've seen that guy in anything, just let me know what you thought of him and if you think he's a good pick for playing Clayface in the DCU. But whatever it is, just let me know in the comments down below, guys. And as always, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video, and I will catch you all. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. If you liked what you've seen here and you want to see more, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, and check out my other videos in the link in the description down below. And I will see you all later.